Well, my brother Tom and next door neighbour's son, Bob Moles, and a couple of other young people decided to go over the mountains one Saturday morning, shooting. Not that they could find much over the top of the mountains, but
How old's Tom at this point?
Tom would have been 16, 17.
Oh, okay.
And they went off for the day, and they always had to be back supposedly by dark. At any rate, he didn't get home till about 8 o'clock. And he was terribly upset. And he said, "We've lost Bob Moles. He's wandered away from us, and we can't find him anywhere." But I thought I'd better bring Doug was with them and one of the other Moles boys. They were only about 10. I brought home the two younger ones, but I'll have to go back over the mountains early in the morning to see if I can find him, where he is. And he worked at the state mine colliery. So when the miners knew that he was lost out over the mountains, this was over towards dunes, they decided they'd go out in batches to look for him. So they went off from 7 o'clock onwards until about 8 o'clock. They went over in different packs looking over the mountains for him. And round about 10 o'clock, the mothers, that's Mum and Mrs. Miles, they decided that they need some food over there. So they organised themselves making sandwiches. And I gathered the little boys, Doug and his two little brothers, the other two little brothers, and I went off so that I'd be up on the mountains with this food, and I told them where, you know, as far as I could go, because we always walked over the mountains a lot. And I would stay there with the food.
So you were there with Doug and the brothers of this bloke who'd gone missing?
With the brothers, yes. And eventually some came back and they ate the food. But a lot of the men were miners who had their own lunch in their mining tin, in their lunch tin. And they all came back in different stages and they never couldn't find him. Anyway, as the end of the day came and we were terribly concerned about all this, eventually a message came through that he'd been picked up along a road by somebody who was driving into News. And he had found himself out onto the road and eventually was picked up, and that was that. So they managed to get the boys back home again. Well, that night, apparently, round about midnight when they were all sitting, getting over this horrible worry of somebody being lost over the mountains, and Tom was blamed because he was the most intelligent of the group that had gone. I apparently had gone to bed, and I got up in my sleep and wandered out to the kitchen. "Have you found Bob Moles yet?" And that was the story that went round the place for a little while.